On the Money Watch, new research shows it's not just kids getting an allowance from their parents. It turns out a lot of millennials aged 18 to 34 are still hitting their parents up for money. And it's not just people who are between jobs. Some are even married and make up to $75,000 a year. Many are letting mommy and daddy pay for things like their groceries and clothes. Certified financial planner Michelle Ogden joins us now to talk more about that. So what's happening here?
Well, do you blame them? If they have an ATM to run to at all times, wouldn't you?
So you're saying it's a crutch?
It is, and it's the parents we need to blame, because a lot of them are doing this for reasons they don't even recognize. Maybe they're guilty that they didn't pay for their child's college, or they couldn't, and now they have student debt and they're strapped with student debt. Maybe they worked a lot and now they've amassed a lot of money, but they're trying to buy the relationship. So they're doing it for strange reasons, and hey, I don't blame kids for, if their parents are handing out money, take it.
So you think it's more of an emotional response to the relationship the parents are having versus the children, or I should say adults in this case, actually needing the money?
I don't think they need the money. They think they're paying for the groceries, but really if they didn't pay for the groceries, it's very confusing.
Okay, so once this is happening, how do parents handle this? How do they get out of it?
Well, they need to do two things. One, they need to sit down and have a family meeting. Talk about what's happened in the past and what's going to happen going forward. And if they are truly relying on their parents' support, they need to wean them off of it, because discontent comes from unmet expectations. And so once they've established that, then they need to move on to what is truly the financial situation of both parties, the child as well as the adults, because a lot of children think their parents have a lot more money than they actually do. And it's the child's responsibility in the long run if their parents run out of money. And they don't think about that. That's what I want a lot of adult children to recognize, is if you keep tapping into mommy and daddy, then if they end up in an assisted living facility and run out of money, the response is it's kind of your fault, and you feel really guilty as well. So
it's a tough situation, but it's also situational though, because there's a lot of careers like journalism, for example. When you're first starting out, you don't make a lot of money. And a lot of careers, entry-level positions, people coming out of college, that's a lot of the cases. So maybe you still do need mommy and daddy's help, with the notion that in the future, when you do get that, you do get that promotion and move up to the next position, that you are being weaned off of that.
Right, and there's a difference between helping and hurting your children. And that's what you need to discover, is are you truly helping them, or are you hindering them from the progress in the future? Because if you do have a lot of money saved and your children know that, well, if they can't manage what they currently have and they are living beyond their means, what makes you think when they get an inheritance they're going to be better with that? You wouldn't give a 15-year-old with a learner's permit a Ferrari.
Right.
So that's one of the things that what's more important to pass on is the wisdom, financial wisdom, than the cash.
All right, thank you so much, Michelle Ogden. Always a pleasure. Very good information this morning, especially. This is a tough situation we're handling for a lot of parents. All right, back to you, Dale.